Welcome to the Truckers Radio Lounge. We got Mike and we got William. So today we're going to talk about what we do when we ain't driving up and down the road and how we like to enjoy different kinds of food and stuff. And we cook on the truck and grill and, make some different kinds of, hell, we grill steak and everything else out there. We like to live life just because we're on the road don't mean we don't like to live. So we'll holler at William there, let him start out. What do you like to do out on the road?
On the road?
Well, road, don't matter.
Sometimes on the road, if I can find a nice little fishing spot, if I got more, a 10-hour break or whatnot, I like to go fishing in different places. And depending upon what city I'm in, we might go visit some attractions, museums, or car shows, or whatever's going on that week while we're in town. For a long time there, I moved shows and stuff, so we went to many different venues and got to see some of that stuff. At home, I like to pull out the smoker and smoke a bunch of meat, just drink beer and have a good time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're talking my language now, dragging out that smoker.
Yeah. Well, there's, a lot to be said about some good smoked meat.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Mike? What you got going on?
I'm always eating something. I don't know if that's good or bad for my DOT physical, but it depends, I guess, what I'm eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Truth be told, Mike don't miss many meals,
Yeah.
I've known him for a lot of years.
If it don't eat him, he'll eat it if it don't eat him.
That's right.
Hey,
I like to cook. I love cooking. When I'm home, or on the road. But I enjoy cooking, so I always try to find different things I can create and like and experiment.
Speaking of cooking, I'm getting ready to whip up a big old batch of Louisiana gumbo. Got everything laid out and ready to cook it up. The wife's been wanting some Louisiana gumbo for about 3 days. She's been kicking at me, trying to get me to make it. Well, better day to do it than the day.
Well, it's so cold at the house when I get home. I was actually thinking potato soup this week. It's just a good, satisfying meal on a cold day.
I heard that.
I'll do a little clam chowder when I get home next time.
Or a pot of chili, a homemade chili,
Love me some.
It takes about 8 to 10 hours for me to make a pot of chili, I got to do it right.
I don't say I take quite that long, but,
I start making chili about 6 in the morning, and we probably eat about 5, 6 o'clock at night, but that's not all cook time. Some of that's for prep time. You got to roast the peppers up on the flame, and you got to let them cool down and seed them and cut them up. And then I like to leave it on low and slow, let it simmer all day long.
Get all them flavors meshing together a little bit.
And then, if I make homemade cornbread to go with it, oh, man. With honey butter or just regular butter.
Oh, I got some.
Y'all ever make that $1 million bacon? You ever see that recipe for that? With the brown sugar and the hot pepper flake? Oh,
yeah.
You want to talk about some good bacon.
No, I ain't never tried that one.
Oh, it's got like a caramelized sweetness to it, but it's got that pepper in it. Oh,
yep.
It's called $1 Million Bacon. If you look it up, it's all over online.
Okay. Check it out. Yeah.
There, not a lot right now in the wintertime. We're fitting to get some snow up my way. And so in the wintertime, we don't do nothing but go home and plow and take care of the property and feed the chickens and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, we're getting ready to do our Christmas dinner, which we don't really do the traditional dinner for Christmas. We do the all traditional for Thanksgiving. I do the deep fried turkey and smoked turkey. Well, I do the best of both worlds. I deep fry it and then I put it in the smoker. I keep the smoker fired up there, a wood smoker. And I set it in there
Yeah.
once it comes out of the deep fryer while it's still nice and hot, and it absorbs that wood smoke, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. I love deep fried turkey and I love smoked turkey, so we got to do both. But our Christmas dinner, I always buy a prime rib roast or something, and I cut it up into nice big fat rib eyes and treat everybody to the big steak dinner and all that. I got that prime rib, 2 big roast there the other day and have them cut up. So we're going to do that and get these boys fed, and they're some pretty big boys, so they eat a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I met one of your boys. Yeah, he's got a pretty good appetite.
That's for sure. More than I do.
I'd say we all do, really. I mean, I can name another individual or two that, we've taken down some of the best buffets known to man.
I wouldn't know a thing in the world about that, Mike. I wouldn't.
Oh,
No. I'm probably the...
hey, I bet you your face is on a wanted poster in the back of some kitchens, some states.
I'm not going to lie. It used to be the I-40 byway over here.
Buffet byway.
All the way to California and back. We knew every damn hole in the wall, every buffet, prime rib buffet, catfish, barbecue joint they was on the planet. Man, we eat good. I know that.
That's where 10-hour breaks were always planned out. I should make it there, and that's where I'm landing.
You damn right. I always managed to make it over to California and back over to that Twin Arrows casino over there in Arizona. Before I run out of hours, I do a restart there, and they had that prime rib buffet, which wasn't the best, but it was actually a pretty decent little place. But I think they did away with all that. It's been so long since I've been out through there. I wouldn't mind take a stroll out through there. The rates they've
done beautiful showers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said they took a lot of that out from the truck.
The leather sofas.
Mm-hmm.
They did. They built a truck stop, and now they got some really just. I mean, I kind of feel like it was an insult to the truck over there, because you go in there in the bathroom, the sink has got that push button that you push, the water comes out for a certain amount of time. You can barely wet your toothbrush, let alone shave your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we tend to get that out there. I do believe that's kind of some of the things we've talked about on other episodes, how we get treated like third-class citizens, but we carry the world on our back and get treated the worst, but ain't that the way it works? But, yeah, we used to hit that buffet over there, that sushi buffet over there in Ontario, California, that guy there. I guarantee he's got some posters of us back there on that. There've been a couple of Rodizios that's probably barred us over the years out of there, especially the one that used to be in Nashville. One that got blowed up over there. We get down there on a 34 party and in Nashville, man, we get to working up that appetite and get over there at Rodizio's, man. They'd be all pissed all the time we left.
That whole block probably looks different now from first town.
Yeah, I hadn't been down there in a while.
Was it that melting pot was next door to that? There was a whole bunch of little places.
The melting pot, the spaghetti factory, man, all that's gone from my understanding.
Then around the corner you had Honky Tonk Central.
No, Honky Tonk Central. That was my place right there, boy. Especially back in the days of the gigging bands and music, and man, that was my place. I loved it when I lived down there. It was, there was a lot of good times, good memories back up and down in there. Lordy, Lord, look who the cat dragged in.
Whatever.
Wow, what's going on, fellas? What's up, Daniel? William.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just going to call you.
How's it going, Daniel? Merry Christmas, Daniel.
Merry Christmas, Mike. Merry Christmas, Daniel.
Stacey said this podcast was about me today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Paul was on here, and we waited long enough, Daniel, but he had to go.
Oh, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. What's everybody talking about?
Food.
Our
Food.
favorite off the clock activities.
Yeah.
Food. Oh,
Partying in Nashville and playing music and back in the days and just good old things that we like to do when we ain't in trucks.
You know,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
North Georgia activities.
Talking about deliverance.
or some Kentucky activities.
No, they ain't no Kentucky shit. The only thing we like to do up here in Kentucky is to drink moonshine, hillbilly juice. By the way, that was a song I just released that I wrote called Hillbilly Juice. It's about the Appalachian heritage and moonshine and the way we live up here in eastern Kentucky. So y'all can check it out on YouTube there. And it's called Hillbilly Juice. It's under my
Right. I'm looking
YouTube
for that
channel.
pimp juice.
Yeah. Way to find a way to plug it there, Stacey. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there'll be some plugging.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Well, the way I see it is I'm too old to party. I'm too old to gig up and down the strip anymore, so I just do the songwriting anymore. Write them and put them out. Piss on it. So,
Well, everybody going home for Christmas this year?
oh,
I'm
yeah.
on my way now.
That's my scheduled days off.
Ain't
Yeah,
you
mine
lucky?
too.
Yeah, mine too.
Yep.
I'm off on leave
Yeah, no.
right now.
I'm going to call in sick on Friday.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
We've had a shitload of wait time last week.
I've been pretty busy. Take some time off after the first of the year. Get some
Oh,
back.
no. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told you to get off your knees, Daniel, or they're going to wear out your back.
I know. I know.
We
But I wore my
are
slippers up.
recording. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, there's only so much the company can work you to death. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
when you have to get up and down off them trailers, it really wears on your knees.
Good recovery.
Well, just getting in and out of the truck wears on your knees.
I know.
let alone you buy.
That's my job
you
at
know.
the truck stop. Well, I'm going to go 1st of January and get one of those injections. But I'll probably be going to Mayo Clinic here sometime early part of the year. Yeah.
Nice. What are they doing? Disc?
Yeah, they want to jack the disc up. It's on a nerve there, and jack it up, put a little cage around it. So I don't know. This other doctor may want to do it differently. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Get all the options. See what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a good contributing of a truck. Bad back, bad knees, and scuffed up knees.
Yeah.
What have you
I don't seem to
barbecued
eat
you
as
lately?
much. Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
I did some baby backs a few weeks ago, but other than that, I've been holding off. I'm getting ready to smoke a couple of prime ribs for Christmas
All right.
week.
Good deal. What are you making for Christmas, Weather?
I'm going to do a rotisserie turkey and a smoked prime rib.
There you go. What about you, Mike?
I got a couple Wagyu steaks from Snake River Farms, and we're going to have some lobster tail.
There you go.
My wife and I.
Hell yeah. Well, that's how we live when we ain't in the truck. Steak, lobster tail,
Yeah.
So you can't hide money.
Right.
All that, all that owner operator money, you can't hide that money.
Right.
Yeah,
Forget
somehow,
the hot dogs I ate for the last 8 months, you know?
somehow or another, I know them steaks and prime rib roast and lobster tail is going to end up on a tax deduction for a company Christmas dinner.
Probably.
Yeah, I've done a few of them cookouts, smoked meat, 150 pound of meat on the smoker and company picnic. Write that shit off.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
That's called being an equal opportunity employer.
you daggone right. The way I see it is if they can bring the illegals over and give them free health care, I can have free food.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to write it off, at least part of it.
Hey, you just say you fed a couple of illegals.
They'd probably give you a nonprofit organization status at that point. They kick the door off the hinge as long as you're feeding the illegals. But most definitely, that's pretty much where we've been at on it.
Yeah.
So, y'all just want to.
Hit that pinata for a little while, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Hit that pinata there, Daniel.
If they can do my job, they can have it.
Better watch what you wish for.
They're just going to get replaced by autonomous trucks, right?
Yeah, I seen that ad come out there the other day. The thing about it is honestly, with the technology and the AI and how the AI is progressing, I don't actually doubt that the fact that they won't replace at least 50%, if not more, of the truck drivers in the next 10 years. And that being said,
Right.
if they built those receiving yards at the end of every state or ever so often where they could pull those trucks off and trade out the trailers and then have the actual other drivers come and pick that up there and deliver it. I don't foresee them ever getting to the point where that truck's going to be able to deliver, open its own doors, pre-trip its own truck, back into the dock and all that
Untarp
shit.
the load.
Untarp the load.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them ever do that. But what I do see them doing is that straight shot cross country, kind of like the train system. And build,
Bunch of cross docks.
instead of rail yards, they're going to have AI truck yards, right off the interstates. And I do see that happening, and probably a lot faster than you think. There's always going to be a need for a truck driver, but the need is going to dwindle real quick. These companies is just salivating at the fact they don't have to pay a driver. They don't have to pay a driver's matches 401k. They don't have to provide insurance. They don't have to pay workers' comp. They don't have to do any of that. They don't have to listen to him complain when he don't like something. They don't have to worry about him calling in work because he's sick. And they don't have to do a DOT break. That truck can run 24/7, period. The trucks may cost $500,000 a piece, but how long would it take them to recoup that money? And the technology and AI is getting so vastly good and it's scary. It's like, wow, do we even know what's real and what ain't anymore? It's artificial intelligence. How long is it going to take that artificial intelligence to figure out how to do it better than us? When they replace all these jobs, who's going to buy the product?
Maybe the thing to do is look at getting out of driving the trucks and going into the front yard business. Bring those trucks in there. They're electric. We can have charging and all of that set up for them. And might be where the money goes.
Well, without a doubt. And then you're still going to have a certain amount of truckers. To go from these, you take I-10, 20, 30, 40, all the different intersections, and you take that cross country and you run these trucks on these long shot runs, you're going to take out probably 50% of the drivers just the fact that truck can run 24/7. So there's 2 drivers that it's going to replace damn near per truck. You start watching these companies jump on that bandwagon and replace us, our value system is going to go way down. People are going to be competing for those jobs that are no longer available except in a smaller pool. You're going to get guys that's going to be the local. They may say, like in Memphis, everybody's got to go to Memphis to pick up and distribute to Nashville or Little Rock, or, you're going to have different places where your local drivers are going to come in and they're going to pay you probably $20 an hour, 25, maybe 30 if you're lucky to come and do the local deliveries and everything. They're going to change the logistics industry forever. And it's coming. I mean, we can bury our head in the sand if we want to, but it's coming. They're not investing trillions, billions, trillions of dollars into AI because it's not going to make them money. It's going to make them money. And it's going to change the infrastructure of our workforce forever. It already has to a degree, and it's a very valuable tool. Hell, I use it, you use it, everybody uses it anymore. But it has progressed since 2022 is when they dropped the first big part of ChatGPT. And it has progressed to the point now to where you get online, you honest to God looking at videos on TikTok and YouTube, you really don't know what's real and what ain't. You can't tell the difference.
Right.
You can watch a video online of a conversation and that might not even been the conversation at all beforehand, and they made it that conversation. I mean, hell, even with this podcast, I use a program that's got built-in AI. I mean, I could go in and if William says something that's dirty, he says a bad word or something, I can go in and type, back it up, change it, and it will mimic his voice and repair it. It'll replace the word with a different word.
Right.
And that's scary. It'll change the video. It'll match the video to you. It will redo. Right. I mean, the technology is unreal. And imagine what it's going to be in another 10 years. We've been 3 years with ChatGPT and OpenAI. I've been taking a lot of classes on AI because, bottom line, I don't want to be the old guy that can't work the remote.
Yeah, you've been speaking French since you got here.
Yeah, but, I don't want to be the old guy that can't work the remote because you got to learn, and the more you learn about this stuff, the better off you're going to be. And kind of like the .com came along, all these guys, I don't know about that internet. I don't know about all that. I don't know about this .com stuff. And look at the people that made millions on that .com boom.
Look how it destroyed our way of life.
Yeah, you're right. It did. It destroyed the way of life you knew then. And this ain't no different. You're not going to stop. Nobody was going to stop the .com or the internet. Right. And nobody's going to stop this AI. It ain't like that we're all going to have a great big meeting down at Town Square and we're just going to make the decision to pull the plug on AI. That ain't going to happen. So you either step on the train, make your money, be a part of it, or sit back and watch the train go by again, like everybody did in the .com, and shoulda, coulda, woulda, wished, oh man, I wished I'd have done this, wished I'd have done that, or it's like my old man sits back and says, man, I wished I'd have bought stock in that IBM. I'd have been a millionaire. When technology comes through, you got one or two choices. Either step on it, ride with it, or get left behind and watch the train go by. You're not going to stop it. It's coming. And whether or not it ruins a particular part of life that we know as is, It's going to happen. You're not going to stop it. The wheels of motion's already been put into play. So
Outnumbered.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and you got to learn to just go with it. You know, it is a good tool. I mean, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the things and all the things I've got my hands in, the different business ventures that I do, along with still running a truck up and down the road 70 hours a week, I probably couldn't do all the things that I do without it. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I mean, it is a very good tool that makes my life a lot easier. It makes things faster. You know, I can write descriptions and things with AI a lot faster than I could if I just sit down and write them out myself. Can I sit down and write them out myself? Of course. But can I do it faster? A couple of clicks and I'm done. Now I can move on to something else I got to get done. That's the biggest thing. If I want to run rate statistics to talk to you guys about live time, it's at a click of a button. I can put in, hey, you know, what's today's average rate in the state of North Carolina? And it'll tell you. And it's pretty damn accurate. Very accurate, it'll be honest with you about it. You know, he'll give me a breakdown of fuel mileage, the whole 9 yards across every single state in the United States, live time, real time. I mean, it's a hell of a tool. You know, people have a tendency to be scared of what they don't know and what they don't understand. And it is going to be change, of course. There's change coming. You know, you're not going to stop it. I'm not going to stop it. Do I wish things could stay like they were back years ago? Good old fashioned go to day's work, go to work, make your money, come home? Sure. But the way this it's not going to do that just because you want it to. You know, that's the sad part. I mean, the air way of life is going to change. And it all ties back into like the New World Orders and all that stuff. Those are wheels of motions has already been put into play. And unfortunately, this is part of it. The AI ventures and all that, the big data centers.
Yeah. Right.
You can have a full conversation with AI about a topic and not know a soul, and you actually get some pretty good information.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. I use mine. I just hit the button and have a conversation with it. That's how I do my market research and this and that. And I do a lot of market research on what, you know, because I do on my businesses, I do a lot of my own marketing and stuff, you know, so I got to know, hey.
You could actually replace all of your friends with that AI.
I don't think that'd be quite as interesting as you guys. There's some shit you guys come up with.
I think William and I could come up with some pretty interesting new AI.
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. What's it going to
Start our
be? Triple X AI when y'all get done with it?
Yes, sir.
Like
Yes,
Alabama pig roast, and, you know, Alaskan Klondike bars.
That's an edit.
But if people don't like Klondike bars,
You can only cage Willie down so long.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
I've been good.
Busting at the seams.
Well,
I've been really good.
you was until I merged Daniel in, and that's a little bit
No,
more.
I've still been pretty clean.
That was a bit more.
Daniel,
than I
you
think
have an
could
effect
handle.
on these West Coast boys.
I do, especially William.
Well, the West Coast ones, especially Paul, William, they just gravitate to you for some reason.
Yes. Paul's in love with me for some reason.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know
Yeah.
what, because you ugly as shit. But, you know, just saying. Think it's something to do with that Floridian accent you got.
Florida. I'm Florida.
Yeah. All right.
It's not Florida.
Florida.
Isn't that the way the old people say it? Florida.
Yeah. Y'all gonna make me have to work all night editing.
Just think, like, y'all could open up that bait and tackle shop, not even set a foot in it. Just have AI run it.
Yeah, there you go.
It could be.
Well, I mean, McDonald's has already started the self order menu and all that, man, I mean, that's, they're going to replace all them.
I had this little the Walmart in my where I live, and they had this little restaurant in there. You go and you order your food on the kiosk, and a little robot brings it out to you, and then takes the trays.
Ain't that some shit? We ate at a Korean restaurant on our way to Florida last time we went down, and they had a little server robot that would come to the table and bring your sides, and he'd bring it right up to the table, and you'd just take your stuff off of it, and he'd go right back and bring you your different things and your drink refills. And you had an iPad on the table that if you wanted this or wanted, a refill or whatnot, you hit the button and it'd bring it right to you. It's actually pretty cool. I took some pictures of it just to see, hey, this is what our waitress is looking like.
I bet you they wanted a tip too.
Yeah, they had to bring something up. I saw an interview thing about tips, how the tips are getting out of control. The waitresses that are yelling and screaming at the customers because the tip wasn't big enough. They're not getting a good tip. Maybe they didn't give good service, but, then other cases, it's like, wow, 15% or 20% is a pretty good tip. Now it's the trend to stop putting the little line for tips. They're doing everything on the iPads. Pay your bill, and it's just implied. Everywhere you turn, it's tip, tip, tip. They're pushing it on you. So I think that a lot of these restaurants are fixing to start this thing, a no-tip policy. It's just a flat rate, kind of like the Brazilian steakhouses.
Mm-hmm.
Flat rate per person, and do away with the tip. So I don't know if I like that. I mean, you got to get your food, and you want quality of service. So,
well, the robot's going to definitely guarantee almost the quality of service now, because if you got to worry about somebody coming in not feeling well or not just pissed off and don't want to do their job that day.
Well, if a robot's bringing me my food, I'm not tipping anything.
No, but I'm saying the quality of service, though. You don't have to worry about a person coming in and not giving you a good service,
Right.
Well, I seen an article the other day. Somebody was on a rant about industry standard 25% tip. I'm sorry, but if you come at me and I'm giving you a 20, and I usually tip about 20%, and you're coming at me with an attitude over 25% tip, for one, you probably going to get a piece of my mind. And two, that will be the last trip to that restaurant that I'll ever be. So these restaurants need to get their little waitresses and waiters under control before they end up losing a whole lot of business, because I'm going to tell you, I'm a stubborn ass person. You do me like that one time, I wouldn't come back if hell froze over. And 25%.
They're getting tax-free tips now. They're not getting taxed on it now, so they shouldn't be complaining at all.
Exactly.
They're saving money.
Exactly. And that's another thing, too. And it's like everywhere you go, they're expecting a tip. You go to McDonald's and they ask for a tip. I'm not tipping your ass. You get paid $15, $20 an hour just like you want it. And then turn around and complain about inflation.
Bed, there's your tip.
Well, I mean, they all wanted $15, $20 an hour, and now they're complaining about inflation. Well, what do you think causes inflation? Everybody complaining that, hey, the inflation's so high, but everybody don't want to give up that $25, $30 an hour either. Right. That they got during the COVID stuff and all the inflation. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're either going to take less wages.
Are you trying to refer to the longshoremen?
Exactly. That there, what was that, $73 an hour? Like, what the hell is that?
And they barely want to work when they come to work.
And then they have the balls to talk about tariffs running up the price. Well, somebody needs to check theirself a little bit, because tariffs ain't nowhere near running up the price like the astronomical wages that everybody was demanding back a couple of years ago. And then they wonder why we're paying $6, $7 a gallon for a gallon of damn milk. Right. $15, $16, $18 a pound for a steak. Hey. It's like, what do you expect? You cannot get rates to come down until everything else comes around it. You know, when you manufacture a car and you've got, what was it, Ford? The auto workers union they were trying to push that 4-day work week and get paid for 5. And then you have the audacity to worry about inflation. Well, what do you think the scales of inflation comes from?
Right.
You know, you want to talk about tariffs. Well, tariffs is bringing jobs back to this country. And then y'all going to turn around and run them back off again with this astronomical, ridiculous, rates. I mean, I'm sorry, but $73 an hour, what do you possibly do that warrants $73 an hour? And you probably, because you're union, most likely, you probably get time and a half after 8 hours.
They go in there and they're supposed to be a service to you when you try to interact with them. A lot of them are jerks. So they're not grateful. They're supposed to do a job and, you're probably supposed to be professional and you got to deal with them and they don't even want to do their job.
Yeah. Jerks.
They are, huh? In my experience with them.
It's like you want. Oh, I got to make $30 an hour. I got to make $25 an hour. I need to make $40 an hour. Okay. That's got to come from somewhere because the company's still got to operate. And now the domino effect sets in. Now the company's product that they buy to keep you busy, whatever product that you're building, whether it be steel or wood, or if you're a contractor, that goes up because the company they bought that from's employees wanted more money. And it's a vicious cycle. And then everybody's, oh, well, what's wrong with Trump? Why didn't he get the inflation down? He promised he'd get the inflation down. Okay. Has anybody volunteered to give back some of their hourly wage?
Right.
You can't make $50 an hour.
But he has got the inflation down.
Oh, yeah, he has. But there's certain areas that he has no control over because everybody's wages controls the cost. This is like McDonald's, and the biggest thing right there, and you see a lot of McDonald's, and this is where it bit them in the ass. Everybody wanted, let's just say, hypothetically, we got a single mom with 3 kids. She's working at McDonald's, Burger King, wherever it may be, and she's making $8-9 an hour. So she gets government subsidy for housing. She probably gets government subsidy for medical, probably for food, probably daycare. She gets some help. She doesn't make quite enough to survive, but she can get some subsidy. And that's kind of what it's there for. She's out doing her job. She's working 40, 50 hours a week, doing the best she can do. Now, fast forward to 2025, and she's making $18 an hour. Now she gets no government subsidy on her housing. She gets no daycare. She gets barely any food stamps for 3 kids. She probably don't even get health care. She's probably disqualified from it because she makes too much money. But she makes how much more an hour? $9 more an hour. So now what she's going to do, she's going to turn around and she's only going to work 20 hours a week because she cannot afford to work a full-time job and lose all of the benefits that she got by making, it's a double-edged sword. The system is geared wrong. It's not a reward system. It's a reward to suppress you. And the way I look at the system, when you come out here and go to work and you're trying to better yourself and say you are a single mom, got 3 kids. Okay, the system is geared to hold you right here, right where they want you, right where they can control you. Because how dare you go to make more money or better yourself, we'll cut you off. And if you can't make that leap from $9 to $25 or $30 an hour, you're stuck. You're stuck in this system, this vicious cycle that you can't get out of. And you tell me that ain't set up that way for a reason. If the government subsidy wanted you off of the subsidy, they would set up their financial criteria a whole lot different. It would reward you instead of suppressing you. And that, my friend, is a whole lot of the Democratic Party, whether they want to admit it or not. There's a lot of people who likes to live with their head buried in the sand and pretend like it doesn't happen, but people need to wake up. And I don't look at it like this. I'm not trying to get political in no way, shape, or form, but you got to call a horse and a spade. It is what it is. And it's a double-edged sword. Everybody wanted more money. But what do you think all these no taxes on tips are going to do? That's going to cause everyone to start driving for more tips because they don't have to show.
And start spending money too, because if they have more, they're going to spend more.
Well, they're going to spend more. You're right. They are. And that's great. And that's what it was designed to do. But, I can't go to a restaurant and already pay an astronomical price for a meal that is double what it was 3 years ago, and then have a waitress or a waiter breathing down my neck for a 30% tip. I'm sorry, the restaurant needs to pay their damn waitress staff. That ain't my job to pay their waitress staff. So I went and got a trailer washout back a couple of years ago. I was pulling a reefer, and the guy washes out the trailer. It's for Smithfield Ham, and I know he makes good money. He gets hourly. And he starts trying to hit me up for a tip. I said, what are you talking about, tip? You work here. You work for Smithfield. And he, no, I need a tip. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go talk to your boss. I'm going to tell you, man, you doing a hell of a job out here. You need to make more money. Oh, he didn't want me to go talking to his boss because his boss was about to ream his ass for trying to hustle me for a tip when he was out there making $20 an hour. The tips was designed for the waitress staff and the waiter staff that made $2 an hour. They did not make minimum wage. They made a waiter's or waitress staff salary, which was $2, $3 an hour. Yeah. And they made up the rest with tips. And if they fell short, then the restaurant kind of had to fill in the difference to make them minimum wage. And that's what it was designed to do.
They should come at the customer.
Exactly. And that's
if they got a problem with their pay, they should go to their boss, not the customer.
That's the part that pisses me off. And you're
saying this big trend. The fact that the boss allows that to happen.
You let a waitress come at me one time that's squawking about a 25-30% tip, that'll be my last visit to that restaurant. I can tell you that.
Right.
It's not that I don't tip. I tip pretty well. I feel like I do, within reason. But that's not my place to pay your wages. I don't own the company. I don't own the restaurant. I simply come there to eat a meal, not be crucified because I didn't pay 25-30% tip. And I think that's horseshit.
Right.
Life's hard enough as it is, and they've made things to where there's no tax on tips anymore. So in all reality, you should be in pretty good shape. So I think it's not even the waitresses that make me mad. It's the people out there doing a normal job that's making $20 an hour, still trying to hustle somebody for a tip. That's what makes me mad.
Yeah.
These days, you got people that are saving up just to go out once a month and have a nice dinner somewhere. They had to save all month to do this, and now somebody else is hounding them for more money.
Right.
And then half of them can't even get the order right anymore. So when your meal comes out, it's overcooked or, and then when you have something to say about it, they still want a tip.
Honestly, if I don't think the service is that great, or I'm sitting there 10, 15 minutes between drinks, or food's cold when it comes out, I'm sorry, but your ass is going to be lucky if you get 18%, let alone 25. Ain't going to happen.
You better be on your P's and Q's in the service business because people remember too.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll boycott you quick.
Oh, and I'm that guy too. Trust me. I'm stubborn.
I mean, I don't even remember last time I drank at Starbucks. I won't even go there because I know Willie's on the phone.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Don't say nothing bad about Starbucks or Subaru.
Yeah. Poor old Subaru over here.
Willie's still on here?
Yeah, Mike, I'm still on here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Stacey has a long ass edit button. I'll give you a response.
Well, let's have it. He can get the edit button. Go ahead and fire.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be enough editing for this one.
And I better say about the granola you used to make in the back of Subaru and the rest area.
Yeah,
If you're going
nobody
to fire away, I'm going to get some more in.
I don't eat granola, man. So. I take a nice healthy shit without granola.
Yeah.
All joking aside, William, did you ever get that Biden sticker off the bumper of that Subaru?
Never had one.
Oh, I thought they came with those.
Nope.
They do come with a mail-in ballot, I think, in the booklet with all the car
Yeah, I think it was
information.
in the front page. You had to tear it out and mail your ballot in.
Yeah, it's already filled out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, never saw that either.
Maybe the dealership mailed it in for you.
Yeah. It's raining like a motherfucker now. Always when I get close to making a drop off.
Now, back to the whole wages and inflation, man. I mean, it's just consumed everything and everybody. I just can't believe the audacity of customers. And it's not even the brokers. You know, I've owned 2 brokerages. I've been the guy that's the broker on the other end. You're not making the call. Those brokers, they do the best they can and try to negotiate a deal between the customer and you. And that's not as glamorous a job as you think it is. They don't make the money as much as you think. At least the honest ones don't. And I mean, they can make a decent living in negotiating a rate and all that. But the customer, a lot of times they stub up. They don't want to pay anymore. And I get it. Nobody wants to pay anymore. But everybody else around us expects us to pay more. But nobody wants to pay us more. You know, we're still getting people throwing rates out there for $1.80 a mile. Are you serious? $1.80, $2 a mile. I mean, I've been in this industry 30 years. And I was hearing those rates 30 years ago. Except only you could get a truck worked on for $40 an hour, $50 an hour, $80 an hour. Now William just said down there at his dealership for his truck is $225 an hour, but we're still getting rates quoted to us for $2 a mile. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think that inflation's coming from? Out of whose pocket? They expect the truck driver to come out on the road, away from his family, live like a third-class citizen, sleep in a damn truck, eat out of a damn restaurant that overcharges him, pay for parking in a truck stop, keep up maintenance and repair and DOT compliance, work 70 hours a week, damn near mandatory. You're expected to work 70 hours a week. And then they want to sit here and nickel dime your rate. Think about that.
Don't forget arguing about a shower. Now they make you argue for a shower.
Oh, yeah. Arguing over a shower, arguing over a parking place. I mean, it is an absolute shit show. I mean,
They had to get new revenue streams. That's why they started charging for parking and other things. And you know, and I mean, the price of the truck stop are already 30-40% higher than any other place because they feel like they got a captive audience. You know,
That Petro up there in Racine, they stopped all paid truck parking. I was up there not long ago, and I figured I'd have to at least get 60 gallons to get a spot, and that's where I had to go, so it was going to happen one way or the other. I walk in, they said, nope, parking's free till further notice. The big gates were up. There was no credit card machines were off. I said, wow.
That's impressive.
I said, what sparked this? Yeah.
That's real impressive. without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive right there. You know, and I always loved that White's truck stop up there. That's always been a hell of a truck stop, hell of a stop, even back in the day when it was the original truck stop at White's Travel Center. You know, it was
Racine, Virginia.
yeah. I remember that back when it was still just a little truck stop. Nice little place, always clean, always had a good meal, always had friendly faces. Man, I have to say that's one of my favorite places that I ever stopped, even from day one of driving a truck back in the day was at old Racine. Right there, that was a good stop.
Oh, now they're only 150 spots away from having as many spots as Iowa 80. You know that?
Good for them because, man,
They were almost the king. They almost took the crown.
we need more places like that. We need more places that actually respect the truck driver and everything. And, you know, the thing about it is it's not like that we want everybody to put a crown on our head and crown us the king for the day or anything like that. We just want basic, common respect.
Appreciation.
You know, be treated like a general human being. I mean, is that too much to ask?
All right.
You know, it's like we
Apparently.
talked about like this on, you go into a customer, and I've heard this over the years so many times. Oh, well, we don't have bathrooms for you. Sorry about your luck. Okay. Well, what am I supposed to do? You're going to set me here in your dock for 5 hours.
Right.
So that's just inhumane. And I get everybody always rears back with the ammo. So, oh, well, you guys just throw piss bottles out everywhere, shit bags. Okay, well, what else is the guy supposed to do? What's he going to do? You don't have a bathroom for me. You don't want to have, and what are you supposed to do? When there's no facilities, you know, you're living in a truck that's a third of the size of a federal prison cell. Of course you're going to have a piss bottle. Now, what you do with that is up to the person that's there. I would like to think that most of us are decent human beings and have the dignity and the respect for other people to throw that in the garbage and do the right thing. And I do believe most of us do. There's a lot of good people out here in these trucks. We're not dogs. We just want to be treated like decent human beings. We're just out here trying to make a living to support our family while also neglecting even having a life. We sacrifice a whole lot to come out here. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for the Truckers Radio Lounge today. We just kind of started out as a good time session, but ended up into a rant. But hey, good material. We'll knock this out. Catch y'all on the flip side.